Now, if you ask anyone who's raced here, they'll tell you, nowhere in the world is more important to get a high qualifying position than here on the windy, chicaney, challenging streets of Monaco. We're about to set the grid for tomorrow's race, but potentially for the end of the race too. So welcome along, everyone, to the Monaco Grand Prix qualifying.
Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. You can feel the tension in the air as we move into race day here in Monaco. It's a track that requires the full concentration of the drivers with zero margin for error. It tests their skills to the absolute limits, so no wonder it remains a fan favourite. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco, then, is not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo. And although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Piastri, George Russell and Albon, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Hülkenberg and Ollie Bearman, Lawson, Hadjar, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Colapinto, Ocon, Tsunoda, Gabriel Bortoleto and Pierre Gasly. Stroll and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music, really absorb the energy from the crowd, and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, caution, caution. Virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta on your dash. Understood. Stopping this lap.
So sorry guys.
Radio. You need to give that place back, I'm afraid. That was an illegal overtake.
So sorry guys.
Okay, mate, radio check. VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. Okay, listen, don't worry about it, mate. It can happen to the best of us. Now look, I've put a new strategy option for you in the MFD, so go and have a look.
Okay, well. Thanks, mate.
Confirmed. Okay.
So sorry, guys.
Radio check, radio check.
Radio check.
Virtual safety car, virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta. That move was illegal, I'm afraid, mate. Return the position, give it back. Okay, mate, don't worry about the damage.
So sorry, guys.
Mind that front wing, it's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage. Virtual safety car deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. Virtual safety car is deployed. There's a new strategy available on the MFD. Copy. Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
So sorry, guys.
Esteban Ocon sees the checkered flag and will stand on the top step of the podium. Très bon.
You always look back at a race like this and think, if I'd just made that mistake there or locked up here, there would have been contact. And every one of those overtakes is a moment where you have to absolutely nail it, perfect it.
From lights out to the checkered flag, each and every driver has this moment in the back of their mind. Now it's time for their celebrations. Our podium, it awaits. And that is the top step and the top spot for Esteban Ocon. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for... Welcome along, everybody, to a venue that was built for speed. Once an airfield, now one of the finest racetracks in the world. It's qualifying day here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
Damage.
With qualifying complete, all that... Welcome to Silverstone. This ground here is rich with history, a former airfield that served in the Second World War and now hosts one of the oldest and most iconic races in motorsport. It's the Formula One British Grand Prix. With good opportunities to overtake at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights, there's a lot of potential for close action around the 3.6 miles of Silverstone circuit. With 18 corners and average lap speeds of around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the longest and quickest circuits on the calendar. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Russell, Isaac Hadjar and Verstappen, Colapinto, Sainz, Lawson and Pierre Gasly, Albon, Bortoletto, Fernando Alonso and Hülkenberg, Ocon, Stroll, Ollie Behrman and Yuki Tsunoda, Antonelli and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. I love being here at Silverstone. I know you do too, mainly because we get to sleep in our own houses for a week. But what do the drivers enjoy most about this track?
Well, Silverstone's such a challenging circuit, Crofty, more so for the car than the driver, because these high-speed corners at Silverstone really test this modern-day F1 machinery to its maximum. We don't get that many times throughout the calendar. I can only think of Suzuka and Spa, maybe Qatar as well, with that high-energy cornering that you get here at Silverstone. So the drivers love throwing the car around through corners like Copse, Maggots and Beckett's, for example, and it's really influential for your lap time as well.
All right, let's have a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, mate, that was an illegal manoeuvre. You've got to cede that position or we'll receive a penalty. You've got front wing damage. Recommend you box for a new one. Box now. Okay, listen, don't worry about it, mate. It can happen to the best of us. Now look, I've put a new strategy option for you in the MFD, so go and have a look. Copy that. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. If you continue to cut corners, the stewards are going to give you a penalty. Be careful. Okay mate, don't worry about the damage. I've got some new strategy options if you go and check your MFD. Understood, copy that. Your lap times are falling off now. We want you to pit for repairs. Box, box, box. Blue flag. Okay, blue flag conditions, create a gap and let the car behind through.
Sorry guys.
Okay mate, race control, I'm afraid I'm not happy with your creative interpretation of track limits. They've given you a 3-second penalty. Blue flag, blue flag. We're not racing the car behind, let them pass when you can. Right, you've been pushing your luck on track limits too much and we've been given a 3-second penalty. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. Okay, we're currently at the back. That's last place. Behrman just ahead. Push, push. Okay, they're on old softs. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 13 laps to go. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
So sorry guys.
We've seen a brilliant display of the Russell. Well, it's been a long wait for many of our drivers, but the wait is always worth it. Bring them out to the awaiting crowd. It's time for our podium celebrations. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps.
That looked bad. Are you all right? Let me know you're okay.
Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting... Eau Rouge, Raidillon, the bus stop chicane. Iconic turn names and an iconic circuit. History lives here at Spa-Francorchamps at the Belgium Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track's a great one for fans of pure speed, and the average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles per hour. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Hadjar, Nico Hülkenberg, and Russell, Ocon, Norris, Bortoleto, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Albon, Piastri, Franco Colapinto, and Lawson, Stroll, Sainz, Pierre Gasly, and Ollie Behrman. Tsunoda and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, radio check, radio check.
Radio check. Sorry guys. Sorry guys.
Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. give that place back, I'm afraid. That was an illegal overtake. Okay, I've got a brand new race strategy on your MFD if you want to go and check it out. Okay, copy that.
So sorry, guys.
What a day it's been for Fernando. Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today. And with that, we wrap up another week. They call it the Temple of Speed, and the pilgrims have come to worship. It's all about the speed today. Qualifying awaits us. Welcome to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix.
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will... Only a handful of tracks inspire as much adoration and nostalgia in the hearts of F1 fans as this one. This historic circuit awaits you. Welcome to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. With top speeds up to 215 and an average lap speed of around 155 miles per hour, Monza's reputation as one of the fastest circuits in the sport is well earned. We have 11 corners on this 3.6-mile track, with the best overtaking chance coming into the heavy braking zone of the Turn 1 chicane. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Russell, Antonelli, Nico Hülkenberg, and Verstappen, Hadjar, Albon, Fernando Alonso, and Lando Norris, Colapinto, Lawson, Yuki Tsunoda, and Gasly, Ocon, Sainz, Ollie Behrman, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Stroll, and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. So here we are at Monza, Temple of Speed, lovely long straights, and that's it. It's easy, isn't it?
It's a little bit harder than that, Crofty, than you make out. I mean, yes, you do have those long straights, but it's linked by very tight, tricky corners. Big emphasis on braking zones around here as well, particularly into Turn 1. You decelerate at the 150-metre board down to the 50-metre board, and you'll scrub off easily over 150 miles an hour. So, yeah, it puts a lot of G-force on the drivers' bodies as they decelerate. And obviously, it throws up a big overtaking opportunity as well come race day.
OK, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
OK, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful.
Yep.
OK, mate, we might need to look at a new race strategy after that. I've got some options for you, so go and check your MFD. Got that, confirmed. Okay, one stop to go, just one stop left in this strategy. Okay, this is Mark. I need you to stop cutting the corners. If you keep it up, the stewards are going to give you a penalty. With the safety car out, this is a good opportunity to pit. We'll be a bit longer than planned on the next tyres, but we can make it work. Just remember, we'll probably lose track position. Confirmed.
So sorry, guys.
And Leclerc to the line. What a day it's been for Formula One, and what a day it's been for these three drivers. Time for the podium. Well, what an end to another fantastic... And a warm welcome here ahead of qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Normally these streets are lined with vehicles, it's non-stop traffic jams, but today the roads are closed to everyone except the 20 best drivers in the world. It's time for qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Are you all right? Engine off, engine off. Well, what happened? Let me know you're okay. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals. Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay. That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're okay. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. Are you alright? Engine off, engine off. Well, what happened? Let me know you're okay. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
Gave it everything, guys. So it wasn't enough.
Well, that wraps up qualifying, but it's that time again. Time for some exciting Formula One action. Who will emerge victorious in the Battle of Baku? Well, we're just about ready to get underway. Welcome to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Hülkenberg, Alex Albon and Russell, Hadjar, Bortoleto, Gasly and Esteban Ocon, Sainz, Antonelli, Ollie Bearman and Piastri, Lawson, Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda and Lance Stroll, Colapinto and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Okay, radio check, radio check. Got front wing damage, recommend you box for a new one. Box now. There's a new strategy available on the MFD. Copy. Okay, you've got front wing damage. This will have a major impact on performance unless you box for a new one.
So sorry, guys.
It's another victory. From lights out to the checkered flag, this is what they're racing for. It's points and a trip to the... It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula... Stand by to see cars at more than 210 miles an hour blasting their way down the strip. F1 has taken over. It's F1 Fever, Las Vegas.
Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay. That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're okay. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. Are you all right? Engine off, engine off.
With qualifying complete, all that remains now... Welcome to Las Vegas, and for Formula One, it's welcome back to Las Vegas. No longer do we race in the Caesars Palace car park. Tonight, the time is right to go racing in the street. Well, tonight we go racing around the bright lights of Las Vegas, 3.8 miles under the Nevada night sky and thousands of neon lights. There are landmarks everywhere you look, punctuating the 17 corners and 2 DRS zones. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Gasly, Fernando Alonso and Tsunoda, Norris, Behrman, Lawson and Carlos Sainz, Piastri, Bortoleto, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Albon, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll, Colapinto and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today. Anthony Davidson, quitting while you're ahead, not spending time.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
That move was illegal, I'm afraid, mate. Return the position, give it back. Okay, caution, caution. Virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta on your dash. There's a new strategy available on the MFD.
Sorry guys.
Listen, don't worry about it, mate. It can happen to the best of us. Now look, I've put a new strategy option for you in the MFD, so go and have a look. Copy that. Okay, VSC ending. We're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags. Your rear wing has major damage. Repeat, major damage to the rear wing. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. Okay, mate, don't worry about the damage. I've got some new strategy options.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Charles Leclerc. It's what every driver imagines when they start out on their long road towards Formula One. And for our lucky three today, here's the podium waiting for them. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc. Charles Leclerc on top.